Welcome to Technical Principles of Coaching Topic 2. Within Topic 2 we are going to examine and explore coaching roles, responsibilities and also coaching philosophy. The learning outcomes for Topic 2 in this presentation and lecture will be to be able to discuss a variety of pedagogic techniques used to deliver coaching sessions, demonstrating an understanding of the coaching process, and also linking in the roles, responsibilities, and individual coaching philosophies into that process. So, moving on to the role of a coach. A coach's role can be considered to be highly complex, with a number of demands far outweighing just coaching and delivering fundamental skills, techniques and tactics. These tasks and demands can be governed by the organisations that a coach may work for or represent. So that could be a club or an organisation. It can also be the demands of a national governing body, demands of individual athletes and teams, and also moral obligations and ensuring that as a coach we are delivering and our role is covering all of the aspects required to ensure athletes are developing. A quote here from research states, "The coach is a meaningful person in the lives of athletes and the role they play is vital in the athlete's sport experience." So the coach and the role of the coach is vital in the development, enjoyment and improvement of the athlete. So, a study by Short stated the main responsibility of the coach is to enable their athletes to attain levels of performance not otherwise achievable, and also she suggested that effective coaches possess many skills, so a wide-ranging skill set. These skills are seen to allow a coach to fulfill 5 defined roles, according to Short. These roles include being a teacher, so teaching the sport, teaching the technical and tactical principles of the given sport, along with other fundamental teachings relating to the sport, if you like. Organiser, so we are all coaches and we all understand the organisational structures that we have to put in place to ensure that teams understand and individual athletes as well understand training schedules, competition schedules, organising of transport to any competitive fixtures, organising communication, tryouts, trials, opportunities for feedback. The list can go on, and is probably, out of the 5 roles, is one of the most demanding. Competitor, so sport is competition. We're normally competing against a team or other individuals, dependent on the sport. And the coach has got to be a competitor as well. They have to guide and support and facilitate that competition and that competitive element. When you get to the elite level, being a competitor distinguishes yourself from whether you're going to be in a job or not very long. So you have to be able to compete, and this is a key role. Learner, so having that open mindset, constantly learning new coaching methodologies, pedagogic, tactics and information in order to improve with your own delivery and relationship with your athletes, develop your team. So having that open mindset, that growth mindset, so to speak, to be able to consistently learn and develop, as well as expecting your players to learn and develop. And then 5, the social aspect, being a friend, being a mentor. And again, lots of research around coaches being an instrumental figure in young people's lives and athletes' lives as well. And ultimately, players and athletes want to play for people who they have an affinity and a connection with. So the responsibilities of a coach. Again, the responsibilities can go on, and I'm not going to read the example of a job description verbatim, but if you just read at your own leisure through the slides, you see some of the key things: organising, preparing, individual team practices, identification, recruitment, guidance and assistance on personal levels, coordinate training and practices, safety guidelines, standards, day-to-day requirements, coordination and administration of overall programs, obviously speaking with media, government agencies, fulfilling requirements there, and then number 8, any other duties assigned, which again can be a long list. So you can see the responsibilities there, and for those people, those candidates working within sport as a coach, which I hope we all are, and soccer, obviously those lists can go on and on. So, responsibilities of a coach. Research formalised a coach's responsibility for positive youth development as the consistent application of integrated professional, interpersonal and intrapersonal knowledge to improve athletes' competence, confidence, connection and character. So responsibility around developing athletes across a number of key areas and traits, and again utilising the coach's professional understanding and knowledge and skill set, interpersonal and how they relate with people and athletes, and intrapersonal knowledge as well, to be able to develop the athlete, and that is seen as a key responsibility by Coates and Gilbert. Vella et al. They also looked at a study and suggested that the 5 C's of competence, confidence, connection, character and caring is included now, are referenced throughout other literature around responsibilities and developments of a coach with their athletes, to really conceptualise the focal developmental areas, especially in youth development programs, and some other examples of some research and literature which alludes to the same point as well. So staying with the study by Vella et al., they interviewed 22 participation coaches who were each responsible for a team of youth age athletes. They actually looked at participation coaches from a number of different team sports as well. So it wasn't just soccer, I think they did baseball, basketball and some other sports as well. And their research consisted of 7 open-ended questions were asked to each coach in order to explore the coaching practitioner's understanding of their leadership role and their outcomes for their athletes as a result of their coaching. Questions such as, what is your coaching philosophy, and things such as that. And the results suggested that coaches perceive themselves as being responsible for facilitating 8 interrelated and interdependent themes. So again, the 5 C's were in there: the competence, confidence, connection and character. Also life skills, climate, positive effect and positive psychological capacities were also included within those 8 themes. Again, from those 8 themes, the coaches used various descriptors and words. Vella et al.'s study classified these as codes, which were communicated to the researchers by the coaches, and each of those descriptive words and descriptions really fell into one of the 8 themes. So if you look at the table on the slide now, we've got the themes in the left-hand column, and you can see some of the words and codes and descriptors that were brought up and discussed through the 7 open-ended questions by those 22 coaches. So if we look at the responsibilities of a coach ourselves, and you look at some of those descriptors and also some of those themes, I'm sure that we would pick up on a number of those and use those as some of the responsibilities we have. developing technical and tactical skills comes under competence, for example, so sporting competence, connections, so building friendships and social cohesion within a team, developing interpersonal skills, confidence, developing players' self-belief and self-worth, character, big one, even in the elite game, developing temperament, sportsmanship, discipline, respecting the opposition, moral values. We talk a lot. That could also come under life skills, communication skills, self-control, coping with success and failure. So stuff that, again, not just within a sporting arena, but those life skills can help them within their everyday life. Climate. So again, team morale, social cohesion, having a positive effect on athletes and players. So achievement, purpose, fun, and then the psychological capacities. So again, some of these could possibly transfer over into life skills, resilience, perseverance, developing forgiveness, optimism. So again, all these descriptors and words came out within the study, and I'm sure when we look at responsibilities ourselves as a coach, we would use many of those same descriptors and codes, which would fall into the same themes potentially. However, there is research to go against, not just Vela et al., but just around responsibilities and how we develop positive youth development processes. So other research here from Cushenhammer and Jones and Wallace suggests that coaching practice is uncertain, is improvised, and is non-linear in reality. So having that positive youth development model and structure can be seen as a utopian and possibly unattainable goal. Again, building on that, the achievement of goals, including increasing self-esteem or life skills of youth sports participants, are argued to be unmeasurable or very difficult to measure in practice. Therefore, the goals are only measured by the relative success of the athletes, for which the coaches are obviously responsible. So the descriptors or themes in themselves, it is being argued by Jones and Wallace here, cannot be measured, and it's just the success of the athlete in that sporting arena, or potentially in life as well, which is the marker of if those goals have been achieved or not. Again, these studies ascertain that whilst the responsibilities and goals may be fine in theory, they are seen by some coaches as devoid from reality. So it's a wish list, is what they're saying, and again, can all of this be achieved and measured and set with time restraints in the real world and on the field. So moving on to coaching philosophy then, which is a really hot topic around football, soccer, and I'm sure many other sports. Again, the three elements of a coaching philosophy are suggested to centre around optimal performance, so winning, optimal development, learning, and optimal experience, which is fun. And that's by Martins and Veely. Furthermore, Nash, Sproul and Horton stated that your coaching philosophy underpins all aspects of coaching, and by creating a formal philosophy, coaches may improve their coaching effectiveness. So stressing the importance of having a coaching philosophy and how it underpins everything that coaches do. Again, furthermore, research has also concluded and proposed that creating positive sport environments and the development of a coaching philosophy is a key to successful coaching. Yet there's other research which shows few coaches in their early careers spend time exploring and developing their philosophical beliefs. A number of coaching practitioners may replicate philosophies of coaches they may have played for or observed. Again, this is fine, but research really is pointing to the fact that or is alluding that a coaching philosophy is personal to the individual coach. So whilst utilising and taking away learnings from others, which is obviously a good opportunity to develop and learn, a philosophy should be based on your own values, strengths, and personality, as individual values and beliefs are seen to be reflected in nearly every facet of coaching. So, who you are comes out within every facet of coaching, according to research by Wits. So, I've put that image in there intentionally. Pep Guardiola is flavour of the month within the soccer fraternity and soccer world. Bonus points for anyone who knows who the man next to him is. It is Juan Lilo. Pep Guardiola actually played under him in Mexico towards the end of his career. And Pep Guardiola has also played under other coaches such as Johan Cruyff being one, and has been influenced by others such as Marcelo Bielsa, La Volpe. So whilst even the top coaches in world football right now have developed their own coaching philosophy, which Pep Guardiola clearly has, they are also influenced by others on their learnings and teachings and practices, which Guardiola's actually come out and said. Therefore, then, your coaching philosophy should be built upon a set of standards by which you teach, influence, and model. The coaching philosophy is a reflection of you. You own it. Guthrie also suggests there are consistent principles that go into creating an individual coaching philosophy. These include being yourself, defining your own coaching objectives, establishing rules, building and nurturing relationships with your athletes, being organised, involving your assistant coaches, helping athletes manage their stress, and focusing on the big picture. So again, Zanetti and Mourinho there. So, a coaching philosophy, and I've just highlighted a national governing body approach here with the English Football Association, the FA as they are known, and they've actually spent the last few years developing their own coaching and playing philosophy and communicating this out to the general public as well as the footballing world. So they've set a philosophy in terms of how they want to play and a style of play, which it runs throughout the core of every England national team, from the youth teams right the way through the first team. And they've also set, there's 5 elements in how they are hoping to deliver this playing and coaching philosophy. Again, I don't want to go through it. I'm just wanting to highlight how the FA are really owning their approach as well. And I know the US Soccer Federation with the new grassroots licensing are also implementing a clear coaching and playing philosophy along with their roadmaps. I've included a Vimeo link at the bottom, which is around a 2-minute video with some of the senior England personnel and coaching people talking about the DNA process, which is interesting. So, to conclude, the roles of a coach are seen to be complex and multi-layered and reach beyond just teaching the technical and tactical principles of the chosen sport. Vella et al. Suggested that coaches perceive themselves as being responsible for facilitating 8 interrelated and interdependent themes, and we discussed and talked about some of the key descriptors within those themes and how they may impact on our own responsibilities in our coaching environment. Again, as a key element of coach education, the development of a coaching philosophy, values clarification and consideration of the coach roles and responsibilities could improve practice and better meet the needs of their athletes. Excuse me. So, reading list is on the portal. Lots of reading materials around coaching philosophies, responsibilities and roles to dissect and dig into. I've also included an activity on the Anglia Ruskin portal, which is around writing your own coaching philosophy if you haven't already done so. So your individual coaching philosophy should be a statement that demonstrates your own coaching objectives or purpose, your core values that will inform how you coach. So what are your social and personal ideals and how do they support your coaching? And your adopted approach when coaching your athletes and players, so your leadership style. Um, Please also include how it has emerged and if anyone has inspired you while forming it. What I will say as well, I've been through this process and written my own coaching philosophy. Coaching philosophies are personal, but they should also be a clear communicator and a statement of how you will coach and who you are as a coach. So yes, whilst the personal, for me, I believe it's something that should be shared with your athletes, with the parents of your athletes, so they understand who you are and how you are going to deliver, or they understand that you are clear in who you are and how you're going to deliver. So again, the coaching philosophy um, is really in vogue topic at the moment. Um, Sometimes it takes time to develop as well and gaining those experiences. But it'd be fantastic if everyone can write your own coaching philosophy and put it on the discussion board on the portal, and we can open that discussion up as well. Again, thanks for being involved. Thanks for listening, and thanks for having a look through the slides. And I look forward to delivering the next topic. Thank you.